Welcome to My Biker Life, where we look underneath the helmet to tell the stories of bikers from all across this great country. This week, we begin in Beloit, Wisconsin, with a local tavern owner who knows all about living life with a bang.
God created man, Samuel Colt made him equal.
In Rockford, Illinois, we meet another lifetime biker who hasn't let a life-altering accident slow him down.
I do them big. I don't do nothing small.
And a little further north, in Faribault, Minnesota, we go inside the shop of a rider who gives shape to his passion before taking a ride.
Just making it look good, Nimsy.
Bikers, they aren't just stereotypes anymore.
Here is my biker life, right here.
So take a ride with us, and let's get to know a few more, now on My Biker Life.
My name's Brad Sandmire. I own a bar here in Beloit. Bikers, hot rods, beer. I like to build bikes. I like to build cars, shoot guns, do America stuff. The thing I love about riding is the freedom, the ability to turn my phone off and nobody to be able to mess with me. Went to school here in Beloit Memorial. Was running with a pretty rough crowd, figured I better get out of town, so joined the Navy, was in the Gulf War.
It was while serving in the Navy during the war that Brad met one of his lifelong friends, Tim Harkins.
In the Navy, he was on the same ship as me, the USS DD-988 Thorn. It was a destroyer out of Charleston.
During their service time, Brad made a promise. He didn't fulfill it until 20 years later.
And we got back in touch, and next thing you know, he made good on a promise that he had made to me back in the Navy, which was, if you teach me how to surf, I'll teach you how to ride a motorcycle.
Brought him up here, put him on the Springer, and he ain't got off it yet.
The promise went further than that. Brad helped Tim through some difficult times by giving him a place to stay and a job at his bar.
I'm pretty sure that when I saved you in the war, it didn't mean I was going to adopt you for the rest of our life.
Too late for that. That's okay. You keep it cooking like this. Keep making this good food and see if I don't stick around.
This is a true testament to one of Brad's lesser-known passions.
Cooking is definitely a passion of mine. Mostly on the grill outside with fire. Other than that, the inside stuff is for the wife to do. This is the rub for the prime rib we're gonna have. Cow crust is what I call it. Yeah, I'm kind of a nerd. Tell him, honey.
You're a nerd, all right.
Tell him. I like to build model airplanes and fly them. I like the science behind the cooking, the exact science of the cooking, like what the heat does at what temperature, what muscles break down, what fat breaks down. By salting it the day before, the salt actually penetrates into the meat and holds the moisture in, whereas if you put rubs on, see, there's no salt in my rub because I've already salted it. What it does is it draws in and holds the moisture in. If you put salt on the outside, it pulls the moisture out.
Watch him now. He'll get intimate with that piece of meat right now.
Oh yeah, it is getting a little gross.
Get rubbing it.
Might have to turn your head a little bit.
While he's rubbing it, he's like, he gave me all that. I was like, no. But it tasted delicious, so now I'm like, go ahead and fondle the food. I moved to Minnesota for a while and just shriveled up. I come back down here and now look at me, healthy again. Oh. And if I keep staying here, I'm gonna be as wide as I am tall.
You're not gonna keep staying here though.
Yeah.
What do you mean I'm not gonna keep staying
here?
here?
Eventually.
And you're not gonna you are. Just saying. I'm ready. That looks good. It's definitely a passion. If you tie it up into a ball, into a round circle, then it'll cook more even. Anybody can be good at anything if they like it. Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, as so often happens, the unexpected gets in the way of life, leaving Brad hanging in the balance.
This past Christmas, I had a heart attack. I didn't really know what was going on with me, but I, for the first time ever, probably drove myself to the hospital and found out that I was having a heart attack. That's something else. About all I could say about it. It really is something else.
My name is Troy Malone. I'm from Rockford, Illinois. I was born and raised here. I got into riding motorcycles at the age of 16. I would go down to the park and play basketball a lot. And it was a friend of mine, he had a bike, and he was like, "You want me to teach you how to ride?" I was like, "Yeah, that'd be great." I got to a point to where I didn't even want to go play basketball no more. I just wanted to ride the bike all the time. I love to ride bikes because it's like freedom. I just feel free when you're not boxed inside of a car or anything like that. And then you have the power basically in your hands with the throttle. I just love to get out there on the road and the highway.
Troy is a lifelong musician who loves music as much as he loves riding the open road.
One of my favorite things to do is playing the bass guitar. We needed a bass player at our church, so when I was about 25 years old, I picked up a bass and kind of taught myself. I love playing the bass. I got to start traveling overseas and traveling all over the country, playing for Dartmouth Gospel Choir. I've done some stuff for Marvin Sapp. I've done some stuff for a group called the Singletons.
Troy worked for years as a truck driver, driving every kind of truck imaginable. Until one day, while on the job, an accident changed his life forever.
That morning, I went out to load water onto a machine that was on the back of a flatbed trailer. And it was like 2-lane traffic going back and forth. And when I was walking alongside of the trailer, it was the flagger. She was walking from the front of the truck and I was coming from the back of the truck. So I knew we were going to meet up. So I stepped to the side to, being a gentleman, trying to let her by. And when I stepped to the side, the brakes got released on the truck. And the truck started rolling and rolled up the back of my foot and my leg. But when he rolled off of me and the foot turned to the side, I knew it was broken. The first thing that came to my mind is like, I can't believe this is happening to me.
Due to some quick help from the flagger, Troy survived, but now faced an uncertain future. Coming up, find out how Brad saved Tim's life during the Gulf War, and see if Troy is able to take steps towards a new future.
My name is Mike Isaacson. I've been riding motorcycles since I was 8 years old, and I have no intentions of stopping anytime soon. My passion for motorcycles started, I think when I was really, really little. Just the noise kind of got me going. Anything with a motor kind of gets my blood going a little bit. I think my first bike was a 72 Yamaha 50. It was just like everyone else's. You had to use the vice grip as a shift lever.
Over the years, the number of wheels stayed the same, but the engine driving them had a few upgrades.
I think 2000 was the first year I bought a Harley. It's a completely different animal, completely different lifestyle, and it just kind of grows on you. It's my buddy Stu. We're gonna go for a little ride today. Put some miles on, have some fun. One of the theories we used to have about riding is if we went out and you didn't scare the crap out of yourself at least once, then it wasn't a good ride. So we used to push pretty hard. probably ride over our abilities, push our luck. That has its place, but as you get a little older, you might slow down and enjoy the ride a little more. I think when I go for a ride, there's a certain feeling you can get. It doesn't happen every ride. You have to be in the right place at the right time for a certain amount of time, and then you'll get this, it just kind of pops in your head and everything is gone. It doesn't happen every ride, and I think I kind of chase that. It's only happened to me probably 5 or 6 times in all the time I've been riding. But when it happens, it's amazing.
For much of his life, Mike was employed as a construction worker. He never had any real passion for his work. That is, until he was unable to continue.
I ended up having a shoulder injury and about 4 or 5 shoulder surgeries in a short period of time. It became pretty apparent that I wasn't going to be able to do any of the construction type stuff anymore.
Without income, Mike's future as well as his biker life were in jeopardy. He needed to find a new job quickly. After suffering a heart attack, Brad Sandmire underwent open-heart surgery and received a triple bypass.
I'm used to that kind of stuff because I like to pull motors out, but it seems a little bit different when you can't open the hood. If you have to cut the hood open.
This life event influenced Brad to follow through in one of the most important relationships in his life.
What I remember mostly is laying in the hospital bed, and my girlfriend, she said, well, Merry Christmas. And next thing I know, I'm getting married. I don't know if it was over medication or what ended up happening, but yeah, I got married on New Year's Eve. I got out of the hospital like 3 or 4 days before that and was married here at my house on New Year's Eve. We love each other. We've been together for 5 years. We've had a lot of great experiences on the motorcycle and a lot of great trips. And she pretty much lets me do what I want as far as buying cars and bikes and trucks and boats and things like that.
It's a good thing she felt that way, because a few months later, when Stephanie sent Brad out to pick up some shampoo for her, he came back with an extra item.
Next thing you know, Brad's got a new freaking motorcycle.
Because it's your fault.
Because it's my fault. But it's all about, what was it, $30,000 shampoo or something like that you said?
Yep.
It's all my fault that he ended up with a new bike.
That and one hell of a salesman, because I went in there for a t-shirt and I left with a ultra limited. I figured brand new life, brand new bike, we might as well go with it.
Along with riding, guns are a large part of Brad's life, one that he takes very seriously.
I've been into guns for quite some time. I teach concealed carry, I teach refuse to be a victim. Yeah, this AR-15 fits perfect in my saddlebag, full-size AR-15. And in here is my favorite, and that also fit in a saddlebag. It's a SIG MPX. Shoots 9mm. Short. You got your ACOG here. This is for further distance. If your target comes up on you faster, you turn it like this and you got your red dot sight here. It's like some people like to golf where they challenge themselves. They beat their score from yesterday or whatever. I like to do the same thing with the bullseye. That, and I love American freedom. I love our country. I love the fact that the Second Amendment is the reason that we have all the other amendments. I like the fact that me as a 220-pound guy am no stronger than a 130-pound woman when it comes to having these. God created man, Samuel Colt made them equal. You know why I carry a 45?
No.
Because they don't make a 46.
Smart ass.
Of all the stories Tim and Brad like to tell, one of their favorites is how Brad saved Tim's life during the Gulf War.
I believe we were in Puerto Rico. There was an alcohol there that they don't serve in the United States in the mainland, but they did serve it in some of the other countries that had an opiate in it, and we needed to try it.
Don't go here, don't drink this, don't do that. It's like, that's a checklist of exactly where we're going and what we're doing. Thank you, Uncle Sam.
The warning was only try one. We ended up trying 2 or 3. And then the next thing I know, I can hear horns beeping and people cursing in Spanish and chickens and all kinds of shit going on. I wake up to Brad dragging me out of the street, not to where they picked us up to take us back to the ship, but into a bar. The bar that we just came out of because he wasn't done drinking yet.
It was a dirt road, and I know there was flies in your mouth when I was dragging you.
Long story short, he saved my life that night.
It was during the war. I saved your life during the war.
So he saved my life during the war.
It's getting close. It's heavy. What you think? Oh, you like that?
And I've met a lot of people that are family to me now, but these right here, you won't find better people. You really won't. As far as you can look, and no matter who you talk to, these people right here are the best people you can find. So that's what I really feel about that.
Next up, Mike Isaacson's job search takes a turn for the best, and Troy Malone has a reason to feel like a kid in a candy store. Due to a shoulder injury, Mike Isaacson was left without a career. While working part-time as a bartender, he ran into the owners of his hometown Harley-Davidson dealership.
They said they might have an opening at the shop. I applied, got the job, basically the base level position, sweeping floors. Took a little hit in salary and worked my way up to the service manager position where I am now. I coordinate all the work orders that come through, keep all the technicians busy.
Mr. Nimps, what are you working on today? Rear tires. It's a shop that's known for its quality. We kind of hang our hat on that. Chris is my lead technician. He's got some pretty good experience under his belt.
You break it, I fix it.
I try to make sure everyone's got what they need to do their job. Try to make it so the guys have fun, keep a light atmosphere. This is Alex, he's my main service writer. Alex's talent and skill is he likes to eat things. Go ahead, Alex. He'll eat anything. You can do it.
Oh boy, Bukes. Hey, we didn't even have to raise any money for that one.
I'm gonna make your mom proud.
All right, we're good.
You good?
We're good.
See?
This is the first job I've had where I didn't wake up every morning and kind of grudge about it, and I look forward to going to work. I get to be around motorcycles every day, you know, the sound in your head all day long. It's not gonna get old.
Now with his new job, Mike has both the drive and the resources to pursue his true biker life.
I have a passion for building the motorcycles. I think that started when I was a little kid and trying to keep what I had going and then trying to make it different from everybody else's.
It's a way to express yourself on your bike. Everybody's got their own taste, everybody's got their own style. I'm kind of lucky I work here, so I have the tools and everything I need around me to get this stuff done.
Right now I am riding a 2016 Road Glide.
I'm kind of into the anti-chrome thing. I'm not a big fan of polishing chrome, so I tried to get rid of as much chrome as possible.
Pretty much all of the sheet metal is modified. Stage 2 boom audio, Bad Dad rear end, air suspension, front and rear. I did go to school for paint and body work, so I kind of learned the trade there. Painting cars is completely different than painting motorcycles. Motorcycles, there's just more passion involved with it. You put more of your heart into a motorcycle. I do a little bit of airbrushing. I did my friend Stu's bike. They called it a True Fire, and I think it turned out pretty good. There's a part of me that just hates the norm. It's kind of hard to explain. I don't like to draw a bunch of attention to myself, but I hate blending in. Maybe I like the things I have to stand out, and then I would just like to stand back. You build something and you're proud of it. You want other people to appreciate it.
Troy Malone, an avid rider and truck driver, faces some tough decisions after his leg is crushed in a work accident.
After the accident, they took me to the hospital. I think I stayed there for about 5 days in intensive care. The doctor came out and asked my parents about amputating my leg. And my mom, she was like, well, I have to think about that. Let me pray about that. And my dad's like, well, I don't need to pray about that one. I know that he would want to save his leg and his foot. So you do what you can to save it. So that's what they did. I had crushed everything in this leg, all my main arteries and things like that. So they took one out of my left leg to put it in my right leg, and they took my lat muscle out of my back. They took the whole lat muscle, and they was using that to cover an area in my foot that wasn't growing tissue back again. That was probably around surgery number 20, and that still didn't work. And then after that, I was like, you know what, I'm tired. I'm good with it now. We've tried, let's just amputate it and I can move on with the rest of my life.
As hard as it was to go through multiple surgeries and still end with an amputation, there still was a silver lining.
You can see how far the scar came up. So that's why they wanted to amputate my leg above the knee when I first had the accident, because it came up so high. But since they tried to save my foot and my leg, it gave it time to heal. Giving it time to heal, it let this heal up so they could save my knee. So that was a blessing in disguise there. Good as new.
For Troy, a longtime sport bike rider, getting back to his life meant getting back on his bike.
When you get on a crotch rocket, you're putting your feet back behind you on the pegs. Well, I can't keep my leg bent that long, so I had to have something with my feet more out in front of me.
Of course, this meant the purchase of a brand new Harley-Davidson CVO Street Glide.
The day it came, I was like a kid in a candy store. You see this big semi-truck pulling out in front of the house.
So which one y'all getting this? At least you got the good color.
Yeah, boy. I like the blue and nice and chromed out already. Has a 114 engine in it. Riding a Harley now, I love it. I can play my music. I can sit back and relax and kick my feet up. I even got cruise control. I ain't never had cruise control before.
After his accident, Troy ended up with a total of 26 surgeries and stayed in the hospital for 3 months. This led to a profound change of perspective.
Being in the hospital for that amount of time, I seen death every day. When you see all of that, it changes your outlook on life, just period. Like, there's no sense of getting down about what happened to me or being down on myself or anything like that, because I always seen somebody that was worse off than me. I talk to other amputees a lot. A lot of them be down and feel like, life is over, for them as far as whatever they love to do. And I come in and show them that it's not over. And they're thinking, well, you don't know what I'm going through. And then I show them my leg and they like, oh, you really do know what I'm going through, They were like, well, I didn't know you even had a prosthetic the way you walked in here. I was like, yeah, that's because of all the hard work that I put in to get to this point. So if I can do it, you can do it also.
I don't know if I'd have the wherewithal or the power to get back on a bike. But I'll tell you, his determination and his will, it's awesome.
He just seems like he just never get him down. And if you just didn't know, you just wouldn't know that he lost his leg.
Almost gotta ask him which leg it is.
I know.
Because if you didn't know, you're right, you would not know that he's missing a leg.
ride for fun, and I ride for therapy. I ride for any reason I can think of.
The passion is really the same with everybody. They love their bike that much.
Everybody was so nice and respectful to where it didn't matter what I was riding, as long as I was riding.
When you're surfing, you paddle out, you see other surfers, you're instantly a connection. And the same thing with the motorcycles, especially the Harley guys and girls. It's a family wherever you go.
When it comes to riding with, other Harley members or other bikers, they're like family.
You have so much in common, and the only thing in common is the fact that you both like riding on two wheels, and sometimes one.
Coming up next time on My Biker Life. It's all about the things that drive us in life. Hobbies, family,
I don't want to miss a beat of it.
and of course, motorcycles.
Taught him everything he knows.
On this episode, the Jones family pulls back the curtain to show how they roll with business clients. Featuring Asmarie Livingston from Empire.
Just get on the bike and go.
And TV and film producer Nia Hill.
Nice!
And a few professional baseball players at HTP Sports Academy help push for baseball greatness. Also, corporate executive Alan Glenn blows off some steam and brings the funk. Watch My Biker Life, the TV show, streaming live Sunday, September 10th, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on mybikerlife.com. And be sure to click on the link to subscribe to our YouTube channel.